To create a new product, all we need to do is click on the plus icon and then pick the product option. Let's first give the product a name: Black Leather Sofa. This is the model we're going to import. You don't necessarily have to use Blender. As long as you can export your models in the supported formats, any 3D application will do. In the dialog, we have two options. We can either start with a blank file and import the object afterwards, or we can import a file now by using one of the supported formats: FBX, OBJ, PLY. Let's go with this option first, and we'll go through the blank option afterwards. I've already exported the file from Blender using FBX, so all that's left to do is drag and drop the file to the dialog. We can also just click this area and the regular file dialog will show up. The options underneath will help with fine-tuning the import process. The one we'll usually have to enable is the Convert to World Space UVs. We'll come back to this one in a little bit, but let's first go through the other options. World Vertices helps if the mesh is disconnected. If it is, functions like subdividing the mesh will give the wrong results. This command helps with that. In most cases, you won't have to enable this option. It really depends on how the 3D object was built. The same applies to the scale options. As long as you build everything in real-world scale, you don't need to touch it. But if for some reason the object is not in real dimensions, you'll have to apply a multiplier. For example, if the real-world object is 1 meter in height, but the object has 1 centimeter height, you would need to input 100 in the custom scale field. Now let's go back to the option we will use most of the time. The colormass platform works in world space. A UV tile represents an area of 1 by 1 centimeter. Let's see what that means in practice. This is how the sofa's UVs look in Blender. Everything is packed inside a single tile. But since the platform works in world scale, if we were to import the object like that, the UVs would occupy a tiny area of the overall material. Let's take this texture as an example. It has a 32 centimeter width and a 26 centimeter height. Now let's mark a 1 by 1 centimeter area and add the UV layout of the sofa as a separate layer. If we resize it to this 1 centimeter area, notice how little information we get out of the material. We're essentially assigning pixels to the sofa's different parts. So what we need to do here is scale up the UVs to match the platform's world scale. Then the materials will be applied correctly. This is what the Convert to World Space UVs option does. Let's first import the model without the option enabled, just so we see how it works in real time. Everything looks correct until we assign a material. Once we do that, we get the result we simulated in Photoshop. Now let's go back and import the object again, but with the world scale option enabled. With the UVs adjusted, when we assign the material, we now get the correct scale. Let's see now how we can import an object by using the blank template. The process is not that different. We just have to go to the Other section and then click on the Upload Mesh button. After that, the process is the same as the regular import dialog. We select the object to upload, choose whether or not we want to modify the scale, whether we want to weld the vertices, and of course the option to convert to world space UVs. Let's hit save, and let's go through one more way to create a product. And that's by combining other products together. The table and books product was created that way. It's the bedside table and the book pile combined. And the same applies, of course, for the dining chair with cushion. It's these two in one. Let's go through the whole process together. Let's create a new product, and let's call this one Chair with Books. And of course, we'll go with the blank option. In the product section, we can find all the products available in our account. I'll pick the chair and the books. And let's move them on top of the chair. And just like that, we have a new product. This is a flexible way to work, since updating the original object will also update all the instances where that object is used. For example, if we wanted to change the covers of the books across all the products that use them, we would only have to do it once. We would go to the original book product, change the textures there, and everything else would update automatically. Now that we have a good understanding of the import process, let's see how we can assign materials and create more complex configurations for our products.